Hi guys, it's Nancy, and I am back with the September 2022 Glimmer of the Month kit. If you missed any of the previous Glimmer of the Month, by the way, you can check out at Spellbinders. Normally, they will have the dies without the foil, so if you missed them and it's something you want, go check out Spellbinders because they do have previous ones available. I recommend checking to see if Snarky Birthday is still in stock. That's one of my favorites. But this month, you're going to get... as always, some glimmers, some matching dies, and you're going to get a roll of copper foil. And this in itself makes it worth it because you get a different roll of hot foil every month, and it helps to build up your stash. So this one is a beautiful leaf themed, and it has this diagonal cutout. So when you hot foil this, you have the die that matches it. So then you have one for the top and one for the bottom, which I think is genius. So you have that glimmer plate and then, of course, the matching die that will cut that out. Again, I love the fact that Glimmer provides that. Spellbinders provides that. The sentiment says, I am thankful for all you do. Perfect for this time of year. And then you have a glimmer leaf and a matching die, a glimmer flower and a matching die, and then you have this little twig of die cut and berries. Okay, so I have my glimmer machine over here heating up, and I'm gonna bring in some of the new Spellbinders Dune cardstock, and we're gonna foil on that and see how it does. And we'll just do that main element there. So I think these leaves are beautiful. They're very thick, so if you're not someone who likes to color, you don't have to color, but it does leave opportunity if you would like to color. And you don't have to die cut it. If you think you can line it up without die cutting it, hey, go for it. I am going to die cut them. So I have my piece of Dune cardstock here. And then I have my piece of foil. Now this was a new roll of foil, so there was a little piece of tape on one of these. Oh, here it is. Here and here. I think we can avoid the tape. I think we'll be okay. And that is already getting nice and toasty. All right, now I'm feeling, and that seems kind of wide, so might have to go this way. Yeah, well, we can angle it. Let's do that. Trying to maximize my paper because this is a 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece of paper. See if I can get it all in there. All right, that's not gonna work. Okay, well, then let's do it this way. I don't want to waste paper by not being able to get the whole image, so we're just going to do the whole thing here. It's not like I don't have plenty of paper. Okay, that's green telling us that the platform is ready. I don't know if that's hot enough yet, but we're going to let the timer go. I'm going to pause the video, and I will be back when that's done blinking, and we'll have the platinum die cutting machine ready to cut that out, or ready to press it and cut it out. Okay guys, our machine is done blinking. I have the Platinum 6 limited edition aqua color here, but you can use your Big Shot Switch, Spellbinders Platinum. You can use the Vagabond. You cannot use the Gemini or the Gemini Junior with this system. And I am just going to take my time and slowly run this through. And then I didn't put any extra shims in here. Hopefully we'll be okay. I normally don't need to shim. And we want to let this cool down. That looks like it was a pretty good impression. I have another piece of foil and cardstock cut out. So we're going to go right back to the heating platform and let that heat up. And in the meantime, let's see what this looks like. All right, so Did foil. I got some overfoiling, not anything to worry about. You can take a stiff brush, and overfoiling is all those little pieces in the center there. So you can normally take a stiff brush and most of that will come off if you use a stiff brush. If the stiff brush doesn't get it, then you can use your Mono Sand Eraser. This is a lifesaver when it comes to foiling and you have overfoiling. And very gently just go over your image and it will take that overfoiling out of there. Now we're going to die cut this, so I'm not worried about the outer edges. And this Spellbinders paper is a really thick, it's 100-pound weight, so that's why we have a little bit of overfoiling. That's to be expected when you're using heavier cardstock, but it's totally manageable. Okay. So I'm going to bring my cutting plates in. I'm going to line this up with some low tack tape. How about some tape that is tacky? That one's lost all of its tackiness. Let's try this one. And cut that out. Okay, that looks pretty good. I probably could have moved over to the right a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with those results. Okay, looks like this one is done. So we're going to repeat the process. And I'm going to take this off and let it cool down, and we will foil the sentiment. And for the sentiment, I am going to bring in the darker cardstock. Okay, so this is mahogany, and we're going to use the same color foil. Actually, no, I'm going to bring in some gold foil because that is so dark of a cardstock. We're going to use the gold. And we're going to let that warm up, and then while that's warming up, we're going to cut this out. Oops, sorry about that. So let's reveal this one, see how this one did. Same kind of overfoiling in the center there. Not worried about it. Let's get it cut out, and then I'll erase that overfoiling off of there. our sentiment is almost done. It's going to erase. Where did I put my eraser? Okay, sentiment is done blinking. Again, this is the Mahogany Color Essentials cardstock. So again, it is that thicker cardstock. And you want to take your time. Hopefully I didn't just bump that into double foiling the sentiment. Let's see here. Nope, that looks pretty good. Okay, we are done with our foiling, so we can turn that off and set that aside. See how this looks. Let it cool down a second. That's actually pretty good. Again, we have a little bit of overfoiling. I'm just going to gently rub over that. Overfoiling we can take care of most of the time. It's underfoiling that's the issue. So if you have underfoiling, you want to make sure that you're leaving your plate on there to get hot enough. You want to make sure that your machine has enough pressure. If it doesn't have enough pressure, you may need to add a shim. But overfoiling, there's nothing more I can do with this when it overfoils other than try to use a thinner cardstock. But I've been using this cardstock for quite a while now, and you can see I took care of all that overfoiling. It's gone now. So my idea is to use these frames. You can see how beautifully they line up right there in the center. I just want to color them. This is the one that I had overfoiling on the first time and I erased it. Here's the second one. You can see that overfoiling is still there. Again, just taking my eraser and just rubbing across will take the overfoiling off. It doesn't really affect the foil that's been pressed down by the hot foil plate because that's pressed into the paper. So I'm not concerned about that. I'm just getting all the overfoiling off from in between those areas where it's not supposed to have foil. And because they're not supposed to be there, they're not pressed in. It's very easy to erase them. Okay. And then to finish everything off, I'm actually going to color these in with some color pencils. Just to give them a little bit of extra color. And you can use whatever you have. You can use markers, you can use pencils, you can use whatever you have to make them stand out. And I'm not going to use any Gamsel or anything like that. I'm just going to color right over, give it a very organic look. I'm okay with people knowing that I colored it. I suppose if you wanted to, you could go in with some Gamsel and smooth that out. Like I said, I'm not too concerned with it. You could use markers. I always suggest doing your coloring after your foiling because you don't know, you know, if you do your coloring and then like try to foil it, this may melt and your foil may stick to it. So foil first and then color afterwards. And that's whether you're doing hot foiling or toner foiling. And I'm just using some neutral fall colors here, some maroons, golden yellows, dark green, some brown. That copper foil really pops. It's very, very pretty. And mix and match your colors. And I'm just doing a very quick version here for you guys. You can take your time. So that one's done. And if you have other Spellbinders kits, don't be afraid to mix and match your foil colors and your sentiments. You know, that's the point of getting these kits, is to build up your stash and to mix and match them so that, you know, you get a variety of different takes on things. And don't be intimidated by foiling. It takes practice like anything else we do when we're creating. You know, you weren't very good at stamping when you first tried it, or coloring, so don't be intimidated. Go in and just practice it, and you'll see that the foiling gets easier. I have a lot of videos on hot foiling and toner foiling to try to help you along. And you see I'm coloring right over the foil. It does not affect that foil. That foil that's been pressed in, it's in there. It's stuck in there. It's not going to come out. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Looks good. So now it's just a matter of assembling. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. Well, let me glue these on first, because if I need to cut that down, I can straighten it a little bit. I like this angular cut they have in here too, this little diagonal deal they got going on. So I need to pull this up a little bit. Let me get my glue. Now I have a little bit hanging off. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to cut this down just a smidgen. To 5 1/4 by 4. Let's see if we can get that done. Alright, I'm going to use my other trimmer so I don't cut my leaves here. since this is hanging off, we're going to fix it on this side. So we're going to go to 4. I'm going to go right up to the leaf and then stop. And then I can just snip that little excess away here. Okay, that's actually not bad. You know, I think I want to mount that on some Spellbinders gold cardstock. I think that would make it even prettier and tie that gold into there. Actually, I think I'll leave it like that. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. The gold would get lost unless I cut this down even thinner. I think that looks pretty good. It just needs a little bit of gems added to it and it's done. Okay, that was actually pretty fun. Just gonna add a little bit of color here on my edges. There you go. All right, that did not take a lot of effort at all. I didn't use all of the pieces. There's the smaller leaves and twigs and all of that, which you could definitely foil die cut out and put those on there. Again, we brought in the Dune and the Mahogany Color Essentials cardstock. But this is the September 2022 Glimmer of the Month. And again, you also get the roll of copper foil, the sentiment, the leaf border, the die, the flower, the die, the leaf, the die, and then some twigs and berries. And let me grab that sentiment for you guys. I think this is a really cute set. I do like this copper foil. It is very pretty. If you had fun watching me make this, please give this video a thumbs up. If you want to learn more about foiling, make sure you are subscribed to my channel and check out my hot foiling playlist for the Spellbinders Glimmer, the Go Press and Foil, or the Crafter's Companion Gemini foil press. If you want to learn about toner foiling, there's also a toner foiling playlist. If you're interested in signing up for the Glimmer of the Month, I'll have the links down below for you guys. Thanks for watching and keep on foiling. Bye!